here at Michael Station on the JR line. I'm taking the train back home, and I want to get on the first car on the train. There's not many people today because there was a big typhoon this morning. It's rainy and windy, so there's not a lot of people out today. So this is what the front car looks like, and you can see there's a lot of open seats. Usually I ride my motorcycle to get around these days. I got a motorcycle about 2.5 years ago, and I rarely ride the train. But when I got up this morning, it was just pouring rain, like buckets of rain. I have to wear a suit to work, and I knew I would just get drenched. So I decided to take the train to work. It's a little expensive for me to take the train compared to riding a motorcycle, but it's well worth it because I can stay dry. So here I am in the front car, and if you go to the front car of the train, usually you can get the same view that the conductor has. You can see the rail line, and so this I'm taking the train from JR Maiko Station to JR Kobe Station, and the train is heading east towards Osaka. And there's on the JR line runs all through Kansai. So and the Kansai region is it's the areas of Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto, and there's also some outer lying areas that also make up the Kansai region, but the basic area is Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto. These three major cities are all pretty close to each other. So this train is stopping now at the next station, which is called Tarumi Station. Tarumi Station is a sub-major station on the JR line, so the train is stopping at this station. So I'm taking here, I'll talk about this first. Is you can see that the people are pretty polite. They wait for people to get off the train first, and then they get on the train. And the seats right here with these green covers, those are special seats for elderly people, or people who can't walk easily, or pregnant women, or women who have babies, whatever. What I notice about passengers is that they're usually pretty polite. Like, I often see people offering their seats to elderly people. Today is not so crowded, and also this area of Kobe doesn't get so crowded, but if you take the train from like 7 in the morning to 9, it's really crowded because people are going to work. And then again in the evening from about 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. the trains are really crowded because people are coming home from work. So there's 3 kinds of trains basically on the JR line. There's the regular train, which stops at every single station, and that's called the Futsu Densha. Then there's the express train, which is the train I'm on right now. That's called the Kaisoku Densha. And then there's a super express, which is called the Shinkaisoku Densha. If I were to take the regular train from JR Maiko to JR Kobe, it would take about 26 minutes. But since this is an express train, it doesn't stop at every station, and it goes faster, I think. It only takes about 13 minutes. And here's I'm looking at the conductor now, and I'm surprised how young he is. So what you'll find is that the public transportation system is really good here in Japan. It's not cheap by any means. It's a little on the expensive side, but trains are very punctual. Besides natural disasters, on any regular day, the trains will arrive on time and they leave on time, so they're very dependable. And in general, in Japanese culture, punctuality is very important. If you're not punctual, you lose face. So that's one nice thing about taking public transportation in Japan, is that the trains are really punctual and the staff are really professional, and pretty much they keep safety in mind. So you can see that we're going right along the coast here. The rail line runs right along the coast. If you ride the train on a sunny day, you get some gorgeous views of the ocean. And if you go in the opposite direction towards Himeji, you can see rice fields and open land. But if you're going this direction towards Osaka, you get views of the city. And I think you'd really be surprised about how condensed the Kansai area is. I mean, outside of the countryside, if you're in the city, it's just a lot of buildings, and you'll see that if you ride the train. You can see all that. So we're riding along the coast here, and off to the right is the Osaka Bay. So for me to ride from JR Maiko to JR Kobe costs 290 yen, which is about $3. So round trip, that's about $6. And just to give a comparison, if I were to drive my motorcycle, it would cost about less than 100 yen in gas for me to make that trip. But on a day like this, when it's rainy and windy, it's nice to take the train. Now I'm getting more into the denser part of Kobe. The train is moving towards downtown Kobe, and I wanted to shoot this. This is like a freight yard here. So the freight trains come into this station, and they drop off all these containers here. And I just think it's so cool that you can see this from the train that I'm riding. And you can see we're getting into like a more denser area of the city. What's nice about Maiko is it's about, like I mentioned, it's about 13 minutes by express train from downtown Kobe. I live really close to downtown Kobe, so as you can see, it's getting more condensed here, and we're passing a station really fast. So here you can see a lot of apartment buildings and shops, warehouses and things like that. There's a gas station. This train line also runs parallel to the Highway 2, which if you're driving, you use the Highway 2. It's like a prefectural highway, but it's not a highway by any means. There's tons of stoplights and traffic, so if you want to avoid that, if you don't like driving through traffic and stopping every minute, then taking the train is nice. And here we are. We're passing. This is a super express train. I don't know why we're passing it. Maybe it has something to do with the timing of entering the stations, so they have to do that. You can see a few more people have gotten on the train, and people are generally really quiet when they ride the train. I mean, they just keep to themselves. There's no public forum or anything. I remember riding the buses in San Diego, and people would just start talking to each other, you know, strangers. They just have conversations. But that never happens in Japan. I mean, you never see like two people who don't know each other just strike up a conversation about anything. So here the train stops, the doors automatically open, and the people come inside. So yeah, it's a little bit, see these girls over here are standing because there's no seats available. Okay, now I've arrived at Kobe, JR Kobe Station. It's one of the major stations on the JR line. The Shinkai Soku, or the Super Express trains, stop at this station. So if you don't have like a monthly pass, what you do is you just buy a ticket, and I just put my ticket here in the machine, and some little gates open, and walk right out. And this is what Kobe Station looks like.